YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Trix, and we're back at it again. This time with a level 40 Bakura farming video because he just showed up at the gate. So I figured, hey, why not show you guys the deck I used last time to farm him at level 40. And I will say this up front, he is tricky to farm. He's not the easiest guy to farm, and you're probably gonna lose a few duels to him. But I promise you that this deck is actually very consistent, as well as when you get used to using it. If you haven't used it before, it gets easier every time you use it for dueling him. So let's just get right into the deck. I'm going to go over the life point gaining cards first, then we're going to go over the end game. But the whole base of this deck is Des Counter Blow with Destiny Draw, okay? So destroy any monster that inflicts battle damage to a player's life points by attacking directly. We're going to abuse that power by using that in conjunction with Destiny Draw, so we can draw any card from the deck that we need, as well as you get to see the order of the cards. 3 Supremacy Berry. There's no way around this. You're going to need 3 copies of Supremacy Berry in this deck. Diane Keto will not do it for you. You'll just be throwing your keys away if you're trying to use that instead of Supremacy Berry. So have 3 copies. 2 Nutrient Z. I'd highly recommend not putting a 3rd Nutrient Z in your deck, just because you're rarely going to get the 3rd effect off, or the 3rd copy of it off, because he only has 2 monsters over 2000 attack, and 1 monster he uses with Sword of Dark Rites to hit you with 2000 damage. But when he does, you gain 4000 life points. So 2 copies seems like a perfect fit from what I've found. And of course 3 copies of Enchanted Javelin. I'm sure you guys are familiar with how Enchanted Javelin works. Now let's talk about the end game. We're going to put Summoner of Illusions into defense position on the field. Activate Dimension Hole on Summoner of Illusions. Take it off the field until your last turn, so you don't have to worry about getting destroyed. D-Spell is in there for Burning Land. 2 copies of Union Attack with 1 copy of Secret Pass to the Treasures. This should be standard to you guys by now, with your Gravekeeper's Vassal to get the effect damage. Shard of Greed can be replaced with Pot of Benevolence, but I recommend using Shard of Greed over Pot of Benevolence, and this is in here to get over him drawing into his deck, which he can do with his monsters. So you kind of want to get ahead of him in that aspect, but it shouldn't be too difficult. If you don't have Shard of Greed or you don't want to use it, use Pot of Benet. And let's look at the extra deck. So I use Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon for this farm, but you can use Master of Odds. You will get over 10,000 points of effect damage. And I'll just show you guys how this works in real time instead of showing you a replay. I think that'll work out better, because there is some things that he does that you have to be mindful of, and like I said, you'll get better at farming him the more you use this deck. I'm sure that the deck might be a little confusing to you, especially if you're new to farming, but I'm going to do my best to try and show you how to farm him properly with this deck. So starting hand is actually kind of important. Okay, so that we can kind of work with this, but I was hoping I'd be able to get one of the trap cards at least in my hand. Luckily we do have a Supremacy Berry. I'm just going to say straight up that having Summoner of Illusions and Gravekeeper Vassal in your hand, that is extremely rare to start off with that. But let's see if we can just pull this deck, pull this farm back from getting absolutely mashed. So we got a Glossy Dead's Counterblow at the bottom of the deck as well. And thankfully we had a Supremacy Berry as well. And we should be able to use the Shard of Greed next turn. Okay, so there's his Ectoplasmer. Can pop the Nutrient Z. Take 2000 damage. We're going to take a little more damage. And a little more extra damage. Pop the skill. So we got a Dead's Counterblow right there. But Nutrient Z. Let's go with that. And then we're going to pop the Shard of Greed. So, like I said, you guys just make sure that you're paying attention to the order of your cards as well. I know that sometimes that's not always possible, but Just try and pay attention to it. So he sacks off for the Dark Ruler Hades, or Hades, however you want to say it. Alright. So I'm actually going to show you guys what to do here. Do not pop Dead's counter blow before he declares an attack, because he won't attack you if he doesn't have lethal. So make sure you guys chain them together, so that way you can take the damage, gain the life points back, so you can activate Destiny Draw again. So we got Supremacy Berry coming up, that's pretty good. But I'm going to try and pull something off the lower part of the deck, so we'll go with that. And we'll save the Enchanted Javelins for when he starts attacking us with his lower monsters. So he's going to get out his Dark Necrofear. Again, shouldn't be too much of a problem, because we have Supremacy Berry in our hand as well. So we can gain back 2,000 life points. So we still have that Supremacy Berry there, and I'm probably going to pick up an Enchanted Javelin, just so we don't have to worry about the life points getting decreased too much. And let's just use the Supremacy Berry in our hand. So the farm should be pretty standard after this point, other than the end game, which I'll show you guys exactly how to do it. And when you get used to it, you do it a few times, it's not too bad. So we can pick up another Supremacy Berry, we'll just use that right now. And essentially, Bakura's, he's not too much of a threat right now, because he used his Dark Ruler and he used his Dark Necrofear as well. And we still have 2 Enchanted Javelins if our life points decide to keep dipping pretty low if you're too worried about it. So you can just set another Enchanted Javelin, which we'll do right now. We'll pick up that one. Always go for the lower card in the deck first. No, we're going to save that actually. We'll save the Javelin if our life points get a little bit lower, because why not? Have another Enchanted Javelin. We'll just set that. Also, another tip, do not set Nutrient Z after he uses a Dark Ruler Hades or his Dark Necrofear, because the chances of you popping it and clogging up your back row are actually pretty high. But I'm expecting him to at least attack me one more time, so I'm not too worried. That's why Enchanted Javelin's a lot better in this deck, because Nutrient Z will clog up your back row. Let's just pop both of them actually right now. Getting those life points back. Pop Destiny Draw again. Also, another thing I want to note to you guys, make sure Dimension Hole isn't your last card, or second last card for that matter, in your deck, because we're going to need to use that on the second last turn. So we have Dimension Hole. Let's just get rid of this last Dead's counter blow. Poison of the Old Man. Usually he uses that card earlier, but it is what it is. So we're down to 2,000 life points. At this point, because he has no other monsters he'll use, we don't have to worry about too much. So we're on the second last turn. Get your summoner, set it into defense position, and we're going to Dimension Hole it off of the field so we don't have to worry about Ectoplasmer. And then we're going to go like this. I'm going to use the D spell on his Ectoplasmer anyway, just to use it. It's not needed. Generally we save it for Burning Land, but it's pretty late into the duel anyway, so Burning Land's not a problem. Okay, so this is the end game right here. You guys pay attention. We're going to go Card Breaker by getting off the Dead's counter blow, so Card Breaker's already there. Gravekeeper's Vassal, summon it, normal summon. We're going to flip up Summoner of Illusions, sack off the Card Breaker, and get out your Blue Eyes or your Master of Oz. And there you go, that's the farm. So like I said before, the more you use this deck, the easier it gets. You have to be very aware of the situation, or you can easily dump the farm. But that, you know, just like everything else, practice makes perfect, and out of 10 duels, I've only lost 2 against him with this deck, so it's very consistent, which is why I don't recommend trying to take any cards out and putting anything else in. Alright, let's see if we get anything decent from him. No prismatic packs, so it was an 8k straight up farm. And with the campaign bonus, we hit 9k, so, I mean, there you go. It's an 8k farm without the campaign bonus. What more can you ask for? And like I said, the consistency is there as well. Ooh, we have a bond that showed up. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like and subscribe for more farming videos, as well as PvP matches that I'm just waiting to upload. I need to edit them a little bit more than this. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like. If you have any problems farming Bakura, leave a comment. I'm always checking them, and I'll be able to help you out that way. And I hope you guys all have a fantastic day, and we'll see you in the next video.